Nightly greetings, one and all. William Theo here, and this is PTV News Now. On the eve of U.S. President Joe Biden's historic trip to the Holy Land and Jordan, Russia's Vladimir Putin makes a rare trip out of Moscow to pay good friend and co-autocrat President Xi Jinping a visit for the latter's celebration of the 10th anniversary of his Belt and Road Initiative Forum. The world's leading autocrats meet with an ongoing battle in Putin's backyard with Ukraine and an even higher profile and more urgent war in the Middle East between the State of Israel and the extremist group of Hamas holed up in the world's largest open-air prison, the city of Gaza. World leaders from Asia and Africa have already arrived in Beijing and are good to go for tomorrow's major event. This latest trip by the Russian strongman is one of the few he has taken in the last 2 years since the International Criminal Court of Justice issued a warrant of arrest on him in March for illegally transporting children from Ukraine to Russia. Putin will officially meet President Xi tomorrow, Wednesday. In line with a military modernization scheme, the Philippine government placed an order for 3 new transport planes that'll nearly double the Philippine Air Force's cargo plane fleet, the Department of National Defense said on Tuesday. This pending acquisition will help in the military's various activities on national security and calamity response and comes at a time when the country is staking its claim in the West Philippine Sea and its newly renewed partnerships with allies with shared interests. The 3 new C-130J JAS-30 Super Hercules cargo planes can each carry 128 combat troops and 92 paratroopers with a maximum payload of nearly 20 tons. U.S. manufacturer Lockheed Martin has been contracted to deliver the aircrafts 2 in 2026 and the third in 2027. The International Committee of the Red Cross, or ICRC, is putting the squeeze on Hamas for access to at least 199 hostages abducted and taken into custody by the extremist group for leverage and ransom purposes in their October 7 shock attack inside Israel. This move is in collaboration with hundreds of Israeli civilians who have set up a war room in a desperate effort to find the hostages. VOA's Linda Gladstein reports from Tel Aviv on this developing story.
For families and friends, a wall of heartbreak. The faces of some of the 199 or more civilians kidnapped and taken into Gaza hang outside Israel's Defense Ministry headquarters as a reminder they're still missing. Among the kidnapped are young children and older adults. The families of the hostages have banded together to pressure the government to bring their relatives home.
They took his wife, my aunt, Adina Moshe, 70 years old. She's sick. They took it out of the windows. And then we didn't know what happened to her until hours later we get from many people that show us the movie that's here between 2 terrorists, cruel terrorists who killed her husband, and they took her on a motorcycle to Gaza Strip.
The families say that for more than a week, no representative for the government has met with them. But private Israelis sprang into action. They call it the War Room for the Missing, and they opened it at the Tel Aviv Expo Center. Here, hundreds of volunteers look online for any shred of evidence about the fate of the hostages. Until the war started, many were members of a group called Brothers in Arms, one of the organizations behind 9 months of mass protests against the Israeli government's planned judicial overhaul. Now the group has turned its attention to finding the hostages.
Israeli citizens from all kinds of different sectors, from technology, from interrogation, from intelligence, from social networks, are gathered here to try to create a full image of what's going on.
Nahon, an information systems professor at Reichman University, says information they've gathered leads them to believe that more than 100 of the hostages are still alive. She sends the information found by her volunteers to the Israeli security services.
We found a lot of information about people in social media. Some cases we understand that they were murdered, and then it's our job to update that we got new data. In other cases, we see that they're alive, and we see them write online that they survived the event and what they're doing at the moment. And in other cases, we bring it to further research if we don't have enough data.
He says the public's response makes him proud of his country. Citizens have supplied food to soldiers, helped tens of thousands of Israelis displaced from their homes near Gaza, and provided psychological help for those dealing with trauma.
When you see people just gather around and do whatever needs to be done at the moment to be strong and to win this situation, for me this is my greatest source for being optimistic.
Israel is poised for a ground invasion of Gaza, but many Israelis say that getting the hostages back is their first priority. Linda Gradstein, VOA News, Tel Aviv.
We've come to the moment when we turn you over to our colleague in the Baguio TV station for what's cooking lately in the Cordilleras. Ala?
Naimbag Arabi, Pilipinas, sumagmamanungal daw sakbay ti panagrugiti campaign season para iti barangay and SK elections, agrikrikos ti COMELEC Baguio kadagiti precinct, iti entero a syudad. Makiko-koordinar na kadagiti school principal kan sigsiguraduan da ang dadalus dagiti classroom kan common poster areas tunggal barangay. Manipod October 19, naging ka October 21, na ituding ti training dagiti manurusuro nga agserbika sa Electoral Board iti Baguio City. Sigun kini Attorney John Paul Martin, tilangan training timor uray tapno makuna a 100% ready ti Baguio City. Impanamnaman na pa ang dati contingency plan da numan mapukawan iti kuryente iti aldaw ti eleksyon. Kapiyata na kinumpirma ti COMELEC Baguio nga dati na 20 a kandidato ang nag-withdraw iti kandidatura da.
Letos recados na Andyan na yung official ballots, no? Andyan na yung mga parapernalyas. Ready na yung mga kandidato natin kasi andyan na sila, no? Mga kampanya na sila this week. Magte-training na ang ating mga teachers this week. So after that, kompletos recados na, ready na tayo.
Iti dadumapay adamag mad-adal ti ordinansa amang ipawil kadagiti illegal barker iti kalkalsada iti syudad gapu iti posible apagad ken epekto daytoy iti trapiko. Napaliiw dagiti sumagmamano a konsehal ti presensya iti kalsada dagiti sumagmamano nga individual pakiramanan dagiti ubing ngagseserbikas barker nga agpapabayad. Napagad kan makasinga daytoy iti trapiko. Isu nga impila ni Council Yandy Riangot Jr. ti ordinansa amang ipawpawil kadagiti barker kadagiti saan at designated terminal dagiti bus, jeepney kan taxi. Nung maprobaran ti ordinansa, agmulta dagiti aglabsing iti 1,000 aging 3,000 pesos. Community service wenno panakaibalod iti 30 nga aldaw. Madutukan ti Baguio City Police Office, Public Order and Safety Division ken amin ang punong barangays amang ipatumpal iti ordinansa.
This is all encompassing. It covers the concern of our general public. We want Baguio to be a model smart city. If we want to make it a model smart city, dapat yung mga nagkokos ng inconvenience and nuisances, dapat ayusin.
Dagiti damdamag, manipod dito'y PTV Cordillera, siyak ni Alas Sunduan, Naimbag Arabi.
And that's a wrap for tonight. We look forward to seeing you again tomorrow night for the latest breaking news and remind you to always stay informed, keep fit, be kind, be of use, and catch the news right here. William Theo for PTV News Now.